Hello and welcome to this Easter basket tutorial. This little basket is perfect for Easter eggs and chocolates. It's lined with pretty fabric and the lace around the rim gives it a certain chic. The bunny tag is made with punched paper pieces, but if you don't have the punches, you can just cut out the papers freehand. You could also use this project as a baby gift, as I've done so in the photo. In that case, you might want to fill it with a little stuffed bunny and an embroidered bib, as I have done. I'm Mary Jane, your Crea tutor for this project. To begin, cut your craft cardstock to 30 by 30 centimeters. When you take it out of the package, it measures about 30.5 by 30.5. You are going to mark fold lines every 10 centimeters, both vertically and horizontally. The result should be exactly like what you see here in this photo. On the 4 corner squares, cut 3 strips, each measuring 3.3 centimeters wide, into the first fold line. Cut about half a centimeter off the 2 strips closest to the center. Cut the 2 remaining squares into triangles. With a distress ink, age all of the edges. If you want to see how I do that, I'm putting a link to another video here on this screen. Overlap the 2 longest strips by about 3 centimeters and glue them together. Now fold up the other strips, alternating right and left sides. Finish with the triangle. You may have to cut away a bit of the last strip that sticks out from under the triangle, as I'm showing you here. Hold all the strips in place with a staple. Here, I prefer to use a staple as opposed to glue. It's easier and it's faster. The staple is going to be hidden later on. Cut off the bit of the triangle that hangs over the upper edge of the basket, as I'm showing you in the upper red circle. Repeat these last steps for the other side of the basket. Cut your fabric to about 28 by 30 centimeters. Place it inside the basket. Now staple all around the rim to hold the fabric in place. Place your staples at about 1 centimeter from the upper edge, so that they're hidden by the paper strips that are going to finish the rim of the basket in the next step. Cut your printed paper into strips, 2 bands that measure 18 by 3 centimeters and 2 other bands that measure 11 by 3 centimeters. Fold them in half lengthwise. Glue these strips over the top edge of the basket. I find it easiest to glue the inside first and the outside with the lace afterwards. You'll have to adjust the length of the bands as you go along so that they're exactly the right length for your basket. It's awfully difficult to make perfect corners. So that mine were as neat as possible, I left an extra half a centimeter on the strip that I turned around the corner and then covered up with the next strip. For this sort of work, I prefer to use my glue gun as opposed to another type of glue. As I glued down the trim on the outside of the box, I added a strip of lace. For the handles, cut 2 strips 30 by 3 centimeters out of the second piece of craft cardstock. Age all of the edges. Then round the ends of the strips either with a circle punch or freehand with a pair of scissors. Punch small holes at the ends for the rivets. Skip this step if you plan to use brads or buttons to hold the basket handles in place. This photo is showing you how to use a circle punch to round off the ends of the strips. You slip the strip of paper in from the underside of the punch as shown. Here I'm using a 3.2 centimeter circle punch. To attach the handles to the baskets, I set the rivets in 4 centimeters from the outside edges. As I mentioned earlier, you could also use buttons or brads to hold the handles in place. With brads, the handles would be more mobile, which is not the case if rivets are used. To make the stuffed bunny, use the supplied pattern to cut 2 bunnies out of a plain white cotton fabric. I've used a stamp and just regular ink to decorate the outside of the fabric. I'm not sure that this is going to wash very well, but I'm proposing this more as a decorative sort of gift as opposed to a gift that is actually going to be played with. Sew the 2 pieces of cotton right sides together using a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Don't forget to leave an opening to turn it right sides out. I've left the bottom of the rabbit open. Turn your rabbit right sides out, stuff it, and then stitch the opening closed with a hand stitch. Here I've made just a very plain little tag to put at its collar, and then I tied it all into place with a taffeta ribbon. To make the bunny tag, I used 7 different punches, but you can also just cut the shapes out freehand using the shape guide that I'm supplying. On this screen, I'm adding a link that will show you how the bunny tag is put together. To make the tag itself, I used a small rectangle 12 by 6 centimeters. I cut the 2 upper corners off on an angle, added a craft strip to reinforce the center where the hole is going to be punched, and then decorated it a little bit before adding my bunny to it. Here is a close-up shot of my little bunny. There, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and to make the project you can head on over to creatuto.com to pick up the patterns and the instructions. See you here again soon. Bye-bye.